Without the communities of volunteers, we wouldn't have a farm. That's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I suppose the way we set up the farm, it's about people and people's experiences in, I suppose, getting maybe more acquainted with crops and where they come from, nutrition, and maybe a space also for experiences. So particularly children. That's I suppose an aspect of the community farm where it's not just economics. It's okay. You get the produce and you get the crops, but you're also getting a space for the kids to come down and pull up the carrots, and the first carrots to come up and to see them just munching them in the beds is fantastic. The peas, another one, and we grow some crops as a pick your own type situation, so that we don't pick it all for that reason, to actually draw people down in a sense. So without people on the land, we wouldn't have our type of farm. It's a community farm. Now our structure is a bit unusual that the community also own everything you see on the farm. So they own the tunnels, they own the equipment, and it was particularly set up that way. Ken and I get a part-time wage from it, and I suppose we spend most of our time there, so we have to get some sort of remuneration. Having said that, both of us are not that interested so much in the money end of it. It's more lifestyle is what we're after. So for groups like yourselves to come on the farm, Ken and I both after spending the week with you, we really felt this great surge of energy and interest. And politically, you're quite strong. You definitely have strong ideas in, just global issues or whatever. The reason we farm the way we farm is taking on those issues on the ground in a sense, and how would it roll out in food production. So we couldn't take on the diversity that we do have down there. For instance, seed saving. I was a commercial grower about 20 years ago, and basically I would never save seed. It just wouldn't be commercially viable. And then a lot of the varieties we use are open pollinated on the farm, which would mean that they are quite sustainable and resilient, that they're uniform, but they're also, they will give you a similar crop next year if you save the seed from them. Whereas a lot of the modern varieties are pepped up, as in hybrid seed and stuff like that, and they have this artificial growth, so they give you this fantastic looking plant, but you go to save seed from it, it doesn't happen. It regenerates back to what would have been the earlier parents. So without getting too complicated, the bringing people on the land for us makes the thing happen. It's the wheel. It's the that keeps the thing going, and there's a sharing as well. So economics. It's important. It's important that we have crops to eat. That's definitely our main focus, is to get the crops out. But for us, it's about bringing as many people as we can. And each year, we have a lot of people that come. Now these days, volunteers. You guys came for a week, which was quite a focus. In a sense, I had this one body of people, large body of people of 18, was it? 15, 16, something like that. It was fantastic. So as the days went by, we were able to build up on what you were capable of, and then how you'd fit in. You did a huge amount of work in that sense, which is great. It was great for everybody, and then you got an experience as well. We have woofers as well that come from. Now we tend to have them for at least a month, so they know what's going on, and they're able to then use what they learned on the farm. So it's not all the time just teaching all the time. And then we have the members themselves who come and go. I was a bit surprised that maybe more members would have come down, but the thing is, the lifestyles we have created for ourselves are really busy, so people don't have the time or can't make the time, and it's a bit sad, to be honest. So for us then, it's that lifestyle of being able to, okay, we're full-time farmers, so in a sense maybe it's easy for us to say, you should come down for a few hours, but it's also an opportunity for people to, as I say, see how the crops are grown, but to tap into our inheritance like we've been farming for 10,000 years. It's part of who we are and what we are. And I think if you really want to understand what you're about, I think you have to get your hands dirty a little bit and just immerse yourself in that growing thing, you know, from seed to plate, from seed to crop, you know, and you see all what happens in between. And that familiarity, I think it helps you to develop, to understand yourself. It's like why we have pets in the house. It's usually for the children to understand, apart from their companionship, that they live and die, you know, and there's that whole cycle in between. So, so without people on the farm for us, ours is definitely a people's farm. And I would say, you know, at the moment, I suppose on average we'd have 6, 8, 10 people at any one time. With you guys, we really went up in numbers, and it was fantastic. Just a really good vibe, you know. Took us a long time to get around the meditation thing in the mornings, but that's it's all good. And I would see it developing in that direction. I think the members, by and large, are happy with that type of situation. With a lot of people on the land, and then us diversifying even more. We don't have a lot of animals at the moment, but that's where we want to go next. Bring in the pigs and the sheep and all, and then that's another experience again. So there's a spiritual side, and there's, you know, there's the food end. So I think without people for us and the community, I probably wouldn't be growing. You know, it doesn't make sense. And to do it as a community gives you all that backup as well. It's not dependent on one person. A lot of farms now are run by 2 or 3 people, could run 200 acres, and then to make a living off farming, you're looking at 200 acres. Minimum. You know, we have 4 acres down there, well, maybe 5 that we're cropping, and yet we're feeding 60 families and could easily feed another 20 or 30. So that's where it's at, really. So we'll see where it goes.
Okay, thank you. No.